see me? Can you hear me? Is there anybody out there? Out there? Out there? What's happening? What have we got? What have we got? Kirsty, how you doing? How's things? You alright? You can see me and hear me. Brilliant. Thank you. Has Botrix correctly joined the channel yet? Mandy, how you doing? You alright? Good to see, good to see. Well, yeah. Botrix is definitely working. Hasn't yet joined the chat though, has it? And I want to know why. Why is this? Why? Tell me why? Yeah, feeling a bit better, Kirsty. This cold still won't go, unfortunately. It's an absolute pain. The sneezing's calmed down a little bit, and the coughing's not as bad, but I'm still smashing the lemsips into me, and I'm still, as you can see here, I'm still a little bit bunged up. Help. But yeah, getting there slowly. And I managed to have an actual lie-in today. A proper lie-in, and I mean an actual proper lie-in, which is unlike me. Got to about 8:30 before my bladder decided I need to get up, which is very late. And I did. Went back to bed, and that was it. Come on, Botrix, we are signed in. We are definitely signed in. Right. There you go. It has now changed. It has joined, yes. We can't stop the bot. Can't stop the bot. There we go. Botrix has correctly joined the channel. As you can see on the screen, test. So it must have just took me messaging on Twitch, to which I am streaming to about 6 billion people. Yep. He's in there. Jeff is in there. That's what's happened. You know it's always Jeff. Jeff seems to be popular on TikTok, by the way. I've got no idea why. I used AI, the Optus, what's it called? Jeez, I can't even remember what the hell it's called now. Opus Clip, sorry. I used the AI Opus Clip to be able to cut some of the live streams down, so I can post them on TikTok and also shorts on YouTube. And the TikToks of Jeff seem to be very popular with TikTok. Casper, how you doing, mate? How's things? You alright? So Jeff seems to be popular. I, on the other hand, don't. Well, not with our colonial cousins across the pond anyway. Seems that me pointing out that the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, I'm trying to think what the word was then, doesn't cover the entire globe, at which point plenty of people were in me mentions going on about how I should put a kilt on and go and cook bangers and mash, and how I was wrong and the First Amendment covers the entire globe, etc. So I'll have to be careful. Don't upset our American friends. But they'll soon be disappointed when you see what's going to happen to Elon. Mr. Musk, who's been invited to speak to the powers that be in the EU, because they're not happy with what's happening on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. He's making no attempt whatsoever to cut out hate speech and lots of anti-Semitism and Holocaust denial, which of course in Germany is very, very heavily illegal. And on a global platform, they don't seem to realise that different strokes for different folks. And ting. Yeah, they sound jealous of Jeff. I'm jealous of Jeff. I'm 50 and I'm middle-aged. He's 800 odd or something, and he's still a teen. In demonic terms, I think. Why would you not be jealous of someone with cheekbones like that, lad? He's just amazing. He's got eyes like chipped ice. But yeah, lots of people going mad about me, and also a few standing up for me, saying they were embarrassed by their fellow Americans, which points, there's no point being embarrassed by them. Everywhere has got people who are a little bit tender when it comes to stuff like that. And we've all got good American mates, we know that. They're all sound. There's no more lunatics there than there are in the UK. Let me tell you that for a start. But there we go. So that was interesting. But I was quite happy with the fact that the more enraged they were getting in the chat, the more engagement it was, the more views I was getting. So, some things are quite good. Where are we up to with that one? Let's have a quick check. It is, well, over 1,500 views on that and over 2,000 on TikTok. So, what I was talking about must have been fairly well received, I would have thought. But, it's just YouTube. You can't get annoyed by what people put in the comments. And having years and years of working behind the bar has made me think, doesn't matter, water off a duck's back. Scheduling premieres at the same time. These things happen, unfortunately, but there we are. It's a massive platform with loads of people on it. So our audiences will find wherever they want to go to. That's just the way it is, as Bruce Hornsby once told us. Very wise, that. That's just the way it is. Yep. It's weird. After having had sleep today, I managed to fall asleep on the sofa a couple of times as well, which you wouldn't have thought I would have done because I've caught up on loads of kip. And yet I still feel as though my body's trying to tell me, we need a bit more of that, can you do it more often? So I'll have to endeavour to make sure that I have a couple of early nights and very, very long sleeps if I can. Last few weeks have been absolute bedlam, of course. My niece's car's been knackered, so I have to take her to work every morning, pick her up of an early afternoon, pick my daughter up from, she's been working at Christmas markets in Liverpool for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I've been dropping her off at college, picking her up, all that weird stuff. So I've been getting up early every morning, going to bed late at night, loads of driving and doing a full-time job at the same time, so it's been chaos. I've missed out on watching loads of the Brewing Banters and stuff because I've ended up working and I can't have the telly on while I'm on the phones, so I've missed out on them. Missed out on a couple of, is it 2 or 3 lives I've missed out on now because of the cold. So it's been a weird few weeks. Noel didn't do any Christmas songs, unfortunately. Although he did. He said at this time of the year we should all hail the Messiah. And then in the middle of Liverpool he put a big picture of Pep Guardiola on the screen. He was the manager of Manchester City, which didn't go down great. Well, with some of them in there because the Liverpool fans hate him, but us Everton fans were not bothered. But yeah, Noel Gallagher was absolutely superb, by the way. That's been such an enjoyable thing. I get to see my daughter nearly every day, and it's only for 10-15 minutes at a time. I was with her for 6 hours plus, I think it was, on Thursday. So it was absolutely brilliant. Loads of time together. Looking up, and she was next to me on the right-hand side, and the stage was just a little bit further to the right. And just seeing her singing along to every word, knowing it inside out, it's brilliant. glorious. And it's the first gig I've been to since probably the mid-90s. And I must admit I've missed going to live concerts. It wasn't as loud as the gigs I remember, but then the PA was much better. So it was clear, you could hear everything, it was really good. Everyone seemed to be in a party mood. I made sure anyone who follows me on Instagram, I put a couple of pictures up and I put one little sort of 15, 16 second video. I didn't want to sit there watching an entire gig through my phone. And I made sure my daughter did the same. She took a few videos, but she just enjoyed the fact that you're watching him live. And we did, which is fantastic. My favourite song, he did a few. He done some Oasis ones, which, of course, I was buzzing with. I like his solo stuff, but I love the Oasis gear. Little by Little, I think, was my favourite one of the night. We're talking on the way down. Jess wanted me to play the Master Plan in the car. Now, everyone who loves Oasis loves the Master Plan. I don't like it that much because from the mid-90s onwards, every time I've sat down with someone who's got an acoustic guitar, they have butchered Master Plan. It's the same as Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. I used to start going to music shops, guitar shops in Liverpool, so in 1988 onwards. And every time you walk in, there'd be someone with an acoustic murdering Wish You Were Here, to the point where I hate the song now. I can play it and I hate it. I refuse to play it. The Master Plan was the same for a while, but he absolutely nailed it. Fantastic. Great band with him. The High Flying Birds, very, very talented musicians. He did that great. He also did the Mighty Quinn, Come On Within. You ain't seen nothing like the Mighty Quinn. Brilliant, superb version of it. What else? Half a World Away, which, as most people know, would be the royal family theme song, which he did superb, and everyone knew all the words and joined in. Good sing along. Superb, really good gig. It is still concrete steps heading down towards the big wheel. And when we went, there's two sides of it. There's the city side and the river side. We were supposed to be on the river side, but because of the high winds, all that side was closed off. So the full 11,000 people who were going in had to make their way in through the city side. So there was huge queues, took ages getting in. To the point where we missed most of the support act, who was Tom Meehan. Used to be the lead singer with Kasabian, but they kicked him out because of his spousal abuse, which meant I wasn't overly bothered about missing his set, even though he sounded fantastic when we got in as well. Seen two of his songs, and then he left and waved up and said he loved his wife, ironically. But yeah, it was good. I say it was good spending time with my daughter because she was with me the whole of the time. Apart from going to the bathroom a couple of times, we were sat by each other. And then on the way home, we got in the car park. We had to get to the 4th floor, or the 4th level, before we could find disabled parking. And on the way out, I think we were sat there with the engine off for at least half an hour because there's no cars moving. And then all of a sudden a few started moving around. So we were waiting for ages. And we then drove home listening to Oasis songs really loud and singing along, which was fantastic. Took her to McDonald's on the way back, made sure she had something to eat, dropped her off at home, and I managed to get back in the house at about midnight. And I was exhausted, despite the fact that I'd been sitting down in the car, sitting down at the concert, sitting down in the car on the way home. That's it. I was absolutely wiped out, but it was brilliant, and I need to make sure we do that more often. So yeah, I'm looking out for more gigs for me and my daughter to go to. Doesn't have to be the arena. There's a few places in Liverpool we can go to, but I'd like somewhere where it's okay for someone who's not 100% great on the feet. There's no way I could have been moshing. No way at all. Back in a bit, Kirsty, no worries. Casper, your mum's on her way to work soon. That was that Christmas, yeah. Seeing Charlene Spiteri there. Imagine that whole arena with only 50 people in it spread all out. Jeez. It's a big arena as well, isn't it? Say there's 11,000 there, I think, which is a fair amount of people. It wasn't crushed or anything, but it was busy. Good noise as well when everyone was singing. Was it Cast No Shadow they sang? Yeah, I think sure he did. And Live Forever. So everyone joined in. Brilliant. $50 people in there, man. Was she supporting someone, or was it just people turned up and realised it wasn't Texas and walked out? I'd like to go and see Liam as well, but I think his gigs are stadium rather than arena, and they're not 50 odd quid, they're about 200. So I think that'll be a bit of a stretch, finding that for me and Air to go and stand up. I think the sitting's probably about 300, which I'm not paying. But at some point in the future, you never know. You only went because you were given a free ticket, that's fine, not a problem at all. Always thought she was a very, very, very attractive and very striking looking woman, and I've seen her getting interviewed, and I've seen her on, there was a good show about Billy Connolly, and it was her and Eddie Reader from Fairground Attraction. Both very, very funny Glaswegian girls, I must admit. But I think Texas, utter shite. It's beyond beige. Texas and Deacon Blue and Coldplay for me are music for people that think vanilla is a spice. Come on, just try a bit harder. Do something a bit more. Again, I think that's why Coldplay gets such a bad rep in this country and why they're so hated. The first couple of albums, you think this is a band that could end up being the next Radiohead or someone. They're really going to push on and be a fantastic band, and then just ended up doing the same old shite, trying to be the next U2, being a stadium band, playing safe music. Safe music for accountants who wear rugby shirts at the weekend. So, man, push yourself a little bit. Just go over the edge when sometimes you'll need that sometimes. Just go and do it. Yeah, Casper, you don't really want to do a weekend at Bernie's, but that would be a gig to remember, wouldn't it, mate? That would be a gig and a half to remember. That was when she first went solo, so people weren't sure about what she was like. You have to start from scratch again, don't you? You're not just Charlene from Texas. You're Charlene who used to be in Texas, and then off you go again. Unless you are a Noel Gallagher or someone, at which point you can pretty much off you go, and he still started fairly small. I'm pleased actually that he started the way he did. He didn't just decide, right, that's it, I'm going to be me. It is Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds, but he made sure he's got a proper band of real good musicians with him. And it looked like they were a gang of mates. They might not have been, but that's the way it looked on the screen. And how it looked live. Every time I've seen them, they look like a proper gang of little gang of mates. So turned it into a no gig. She was doing requests. That's fair enough, I suppose. I bet that made for a decent gig, even though it was very few people in a massive arena. That must have made it turn into something a bit special. He's probably better company in his current state and probably drinks a little less, yep. Speaking of which, still haven't had an alcoholic drink all year. There was a little stage early on. I went out to get diesel for my car, just in case my daughter decided to ring and say she was trapped somewhere. And while I was there, there's a little bar over the road from the petrol station, which looked fantastic, and part of me just thought I'd love to be over there now having a pint or a few glasses of their old red. But it was only fleeting, and I wasn't thinking on the way home I'm going to stop and get a bottle of proper wine, no. But it looks like I'm going to get through the whole of 2023 without drinking. Apart from tea and alcohol-free red wine, obviously. Someone have to look at my old video. I said this last time, didn't I? I'm going to have to look at my old video and see what I said. Did I make any predictions? Did those predictions come true? I wonder if I can put together a little highlight of the year, what happened month by month. See how it changed. Might be difficult. I have no understanding why you have to have YouTube Premium to download videos, even your own videos. Why can't you just download ones that you've already put up there? I can't keep every video that I put on there on my phone or on my computer because they'll be full. The 20-minute driving videos are like 7 gig or something. You know, they're huge. They get down to about 1.5 gig when I put them up onto YouTube. You can't keep hold of these things. You know, it's stupid. Why can't you just download them when you need them and cut little bits off? You can do clips, but that's just a link to that little bit of it. I need to be able to cut them out and put them all together in one video. So that might be the next couple of days while I'm sat round and there's sod all on telly. Thank you, Mandy. Yep. Applause, generous applause needed. I think I deserve that. And you're about to start drinking Tia Maria. Thank you very much for your support. Now, go for it. You may as well. Like I've said to everyone, there's no problem with alcohol. Well, there is a problem with alcohol, but it's not the cause of what happened to me. The cause of it was high blood pressure, of which alcohol was a contributing factor, not the solo factor. So it's no big deal having a drink. Just look after yourself and make sure that you're not getting too dependent on it, or it's not sending your blood pressure sky high, because we don't want anyone else going through this shit. Really, we don't. It's not good. No es bueno, man. No es bueno. I was thinking earlier I was going to bring in a bottle of alcohol-free red wine and just have a couple of snifters with you, but nah, I'll stick with me tea. Oh, and of course, coffee from the Charcoal Coffee Company, which I have been getting up and having one of a morning, to the point where I need to order some more, I think. The link is in the description below. If you're in the UK, get on it. They are fantastic, fantastic stuff. Gorgeous. But you need to stop smoking. Yes, you do. It's not good for you. Bloody tobacco. Definitely not good for you. I said that to, I think it was my daughter. I actually said it to my niece as well. So it's funny. Every generation thinks they're the first generation to try anything. And yet anybody you speak to who smokes has said they wish they never started in the first place. But nobody ever learns the lesson. There's always someone else coming through. The son or the daughter will start. It's ridiculous. So I'm hoping my daughter doesn't. She doesn't drink a lot. She's only 17, obviously, but she'll be 18 in April. Even when she goes out, she doesn't drink a lot. She goes to a party, she has a few, but not many. So I'm hoping she hasn't got that kind of personality where it's all or nothing at all. It's still your birthday bottle. Fair play to you. I'm trusting that it's not a miniature. It's a proper size one. We should hope. Oh, man. It's funny as well that people are struggling to find things to buy me for my birthday and Christmas. Not that I've told people don't buy me anything. We don't need anything. My sister has anyway, because I've been driving her to medical appointments every day, and I've been driving her daughter, making sure she gets to work and things. As if I need thanking for that. It's just, you look after your family, don't you? But my sister last week was given the all clear. So after a long, hard fight, she is now completely cancer-free. Which, if you want to give anyone a present, it's having your family having that health. So I just need my dad to start improving a bit more now, which he seems to be, day by day. Still got the nurses coming out every day to make sure he's taking his antibiotics, and he has to have them intravenously and things. The moonlight isn't working. I had it plugged in with the charger, and it hasn't charged. El stupido. Thank you, Casper. Thank you, Mandy. It is. It's she's normally such a drama queen, but with this, she's just really got her head down and got on with it, and thought, this is the sort of the hand I've been dealt. I can't do anything about it apart from fight it with all my strength, and she has done. It seems to have made her grow as a person, so I'm delighted and proud of what she did. And also, I have taken full credit for everything because it was me who used to drive her to the appointments of the morning. So yeah, I've decided I am fully to take credit for her getting better. And I told her that in a text. I said I'm almost a saint, which makes me Saint Nick, which makes it all a Christmas miracle. Perfect. Yeah, but it's I know myself just from being in hospital for a couple of months how hard it can be. I've got no idea what it's like to have to go through what she's been through, hearing those words, and then having to go through the treatment. Apparently, it was very, very. Some of the treatment that she had was very invasive. It's not something I'd like to go through, but just looking at her, I think you've done fantastic. So be proud of yourself, and if it does happen to anyone else, we know as a family we've got enough bottle between us to get through stuff. So yeah, fair play. That's a really good Christmas, I think. It is a huge weight off the family's shoulders, as is my dad getting better. Again, slowly, colour's coming back to his face. He's lost loads of weight though because he's not eating properly, but that will all come in time. Hopefully once he goes back to work and starts to feel like it's a bit more normal, and I'll be walking more and hopefully my hand will be working more, we might have a 2024 where people are just sort of back to normal-ish. And I wouldn't mind a 2024 where it's boring and nothing happens, just a straightforward, this is a year, it started, we got through it, and at the end we had a good year and nobody ended up having any kind of issues. So hopefully that's the kind of year that we're going to have. Gingers crossed. Thank you, Mandy. Is that ringing the bell in the cancer centre, or are you calling me a bell? We need to know these things because there's a massive difference. But yeah, she rang the bell on a final appointment, and then when she got the letter, she had a final scan, and then they said expect a letter, and then she's got another appointment in March or something, which is always like a normal follow-up. So we don't need to worry about things. If there was something wrong, they would have asked you to come in there and then, or make sure you're here next week. But as soon as she got the letter, just that thing in front of you saying, we've looked at everywhere and everywhere's fine. That must have been such a huge thing for her. Apparently she broke down in tears. I got a couple of voice messages off her. I thought, fantastic. You deserve it. And considering what a couple of years we've had as a family, I'm hoping that's the first bit of sort of good news. I know me getting out of hospital last year was good news as well, but you know, that sort of the big, I don't know, the bow on the present for the year is her getting well, so we're happy with that. Ringing it for me sister. Thank you very much, Mandy. And if anyone else is suffering from anything like that as well, just, it's the same as everything I say in my videos. You've got to be positive and you've got to push yourself through it. You can't just feel sorry for yourself because you'll never get better. But if she can get through it, I'm telling you, anyone can. And she's now turned into someone who talks to other people all the time, shares her experience, is really good in helping people along the way. So I'm proud of what she's doing. She's fundraising at the moment, and I made sure I put plenty of cash in that as well. That's what you got to do, man, innit? You got to do it. Push yourself through it. Oh, man. It's still warm as well, isn't it? It's pissing down with rain, but yeah. And I got out the shower about 5 minutes before I started this, so I'm sweating like a 1970s Top of the Pops DJ when the doorbell rings. The Rod Gilbert documentary's worth watching. Which one was that? There's been a couple that you put on. I know. Was it A Pain in the Neck or something like that? I'll have to go and watch that. I like him anyway. But I know he went through a hell of a lot, didn't he? Didn't he have a stroke as well? Poor sod. Yeah. I'll try and find out. Where was that on, Mandy? Do you know which TV station it was on? Which channel, rather? TV station. Jeez. Was it BBC? I watched something on the BBC with him on it. I will find it and I will watch it. I now turned into Liam Neeson for a second there, didn't I? Let's have a look. iPlayer. Is it iPlayer? Is it Channel 4? What are we on? What are we on? No, that's not it. Rod Gilbert's work experience. No, that's not it. So it's not on BBC. It'll be Channel 4 in a moment. Yeah. So he had cancer as well. Yeah, I know he had a stroke and then he had cancer. He had something else. He went through about 2 or 3 years where nothing was working. Wasn't he? Didn't he have a problem? He was trying to raise a family and something was happening there as well. Poor sod. But hopefully he's at the other end of it as well. Get back to his normal self, because he's a very, very funny lad and he seems decent as well. Not just a funny lad, but a decent lad. Everything I've seen of him. He seems like the kind of lad that you wouldn't mind going for a pint with, which I think's it's always a good barometer of whether you'd go for a pint with someone. Is that the kind of person they are? If they are, fair play to them. We had a mate, used to be a comedian, called Big Al. He was 6'7", massive. And he was one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. Superb comedian. Could play piano. He was a ventriloquist, a magician. He could do absolutely anything. And whenever he used to come to the pub and we'd have a drink after hours, there'd be people peeing themselves and all kinds. Just genius. That's why I always think if you can come to a pub, no props, no script, and just make people laugh for about 4 or 5 hours at a time, there is a lot to be said about you. 6'7", and his brothers were bigger than him. He was on the Tom O'Connor used to have a show on, I think it was the BBC, called the Tom O'Connor Show, and he used to appear on there occasionally. We thought, this is it, he's about to hit the big time, and it just never really worked for him, unfortunately. Lovely fella. No longer with us, unfortunately, as is the case with quite a few. Just looked, it was Channel 4, brilliant, thank you, Mandy. Where are we? Channel 4. Rod with a H. There we go. Yeah, was it A Pain in the Neck? That was it, wasn't it? It's that one. I'll add that to my list. I'll definitely watch that. Right. 47 minutes. Good. I'd like to see that. Donkey Sean, as they say in Germany. I know they don't, but it's still better than Wayne Newton with that Donkey Shane shite. Oh, I hate that. Every time I watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Donkey Shane. How'd you get Donkey Shane from that? Wayne Newton, man. Vegas legend. I'm still getting more notifications that I'm live. I hate the way they do that. As if I accidentally pressed stream and I'm sat here. Yes, I will watch that one, definitely. Given it's the time of the year where there's 2 episodes. Yeah, I thought so. It looked like there was. I didn't know if it was because it had been shown once and repeated, and maybe it was just because that happens with Sky all the time. You try and press record and it records 9 episodes of one because it's constantly repeated. 2 episodes, 2 47-minute episodes by the look of it. Yeah, I'll watch that. They say the television's never great. Christmas time. It's not giving me something to watch. Although, for the last couple of weeks, it's been superb. As I say, I've been dropping my niece off. My daughter off at college or my niece off at her work. And by the time I come home, like 8:30, 8:45, maybe 9 o'clock. And the 2 Ronnies has been on. So just for the last so many weeks, the 2 Ronnies, Morecambe and Wise, I'm in my element. It's fantastic. Although I was surprised watching some of the Two Ronnie stuff. I always remember it being a bit close to the bone, very, very seaside postcard humour. There was lots of gay jokes in there, which stand out a little bit nowadays. Still funny, and I think probably done from a slight position of ignorance rather than malice, and things have changed around slightly. None of it seemed to be overly nasty, but it does stand out just how mainstream comedians that were on it, such as 8 o'clock at night, all of a sudden it's loads of gay jokes. It's just attitudes change, don't they? Loads of Raquel Welch jokes as well. Funny. And then seeing some of the people who wrote for them, the Pythons all wrote for them as well. Man, Ronnie Barker, the absolute goat. Nobody better. I think I was going to be teaching how to be an actor or how to be a comedian or how to be a comic actor. Just go and watch anything with him in it. Nobody has ever been better. His timing is absolutely exquisite. Plus, Porridge has been on as well, so I love that. Love a bit of Porridge. It's just a shame nowadays. I was thinking about the Two Ronnies. Is there anybody that could take over from them? Is there a modern day equivalent who could do that kind of thing? Why haven't we got that kind of programme anymore? It's not variety, not like Morecambe and Wise used to be like a variety show in one on their own. But those little comic sketches and set pieces to camera and the songs that they did. The only ones I can think of would be Vic and Bob, but of course Jim Moyer has retired Vic Reeves now, so I don't think you'd ever see them doing that again. They might make that film together they were talking about. But beyond that, I can't see them working together either. Bob's doing his stuff. Jim's doing his stuff. Loads of art and things, and doing stuff for Sky Arts. And Bob is just being the greatest man who ever lived. And I'm here for it. I've got his novel, The Satsuma Complex. Because I struggle with both hands, I've not read it yet, but I started listening to the audiobook, which is on Spotify. I need to make sure I go back and start that from scratch, I think. Because when I was trying to listen to it the other day, there was too many interruptions. I just finished listening to Dave Grohl, Storyteller, his audiobook as well. Brilliant. It's mostly scripted reality though, yeah. Now rather, although that's unintentionally funny. Scripted reality is a pain in the arse. Some of it can be quite funny. It's always nicer when you see funny people just being funny without having to be set up. And you can normally tell when that's the case as well. It stands out a bit more. Still nice though. Nice to have something funny to watch. When I'm not on here, obviously. I'm looking forward to Mortimer and Whitehouse. They're on 29th, aren't they? Is it Thursday? I've got no idea what day is what at the moment. I even told my sister earlier on that my daughter's working tomorrow, thinking it was Christmas Eve tomorrow, even though I know full well it's today. You know, that's how these things go. When you get to my age, you lose complete track of days and time. Then you throw in Christmas, and it's 10 times as bad. Jeff hasn't botted yet, has he? Just watched the Vicar of Dibley documentary. Do you like that show? I should like that. Richard Curtis is a good writer. Dawn French is brilliant. The actors in it are superb. There's just something about it that I can't take to at all. I don't know what it is. I can't work out why I don't like it. But I think I'm like that with lots of things. Stuff that I think I should like, I don't. And then stuff that I would normally think, no chance on earth I'm going to like that. I'm pissing me sides laughing at it. Yeah, Dawn French is absolutely superb. and been around since I was a kid. So she's one of those sort of omnipresent. What's that one? An omnipresent presence doesn't work, does it? Just always been there from the early stuff. That Comic Relief, was it 1983 or 84? I think whatever year it was. The Hammersmith Odeon, I think it was, where they had all the comedians there. They were brilliant on that. Great in the young ones, obviously. And then the comic strip presents. They're all superb in that. I should watch the Alan Carr thing. I should do. I know you've mentioned this before. I think I'd have to be in the mood to watch Alan Carr, because he can be exceptionally funny, or he can be like nails on a blackboard or chalkboard. Oh. Did someone mention Annie Lennox? Because here comes the rain again. He is funny, like, but like I say, just sometimes I can't be doing with him. But I think there's a few people like that. Got to be in the mood to watch them. But I will watch it. Yeah, it's not all limited me as a kid, yeah. I know I've heard the story. I don't know if my dad played against his dad or played against his dad's team or something. Probably did. At some point. Seems to have played against everyone. One of his first games, my dad, he was playing up front and got marked by a wrestler from North Wales called Orig Williams. He said he's about 6'8", and he spent the entire time with him in a headlock. That's when he's about 14 or 15. It's a good initiation into men's football. You soon learn your lesson then. I will get round to watching it though. So this is really good for. He pops up to voice thoughts, but he doesn't play a character in it. Right, sound. Well, that'll be on Channel 4 as well, won't it? So, Rod and Alan will be watched over the next few weeks while there's bugger all else on. We will see these things. Did you see the thumbnail for this live as well, by the way? Bearvana. I wanted to put Dave Growl in there as well. I thought you might recognise the album cover. I enjoyed doing that. Kirsty is back. Welcome back. All sorted. Sorted like a Manchester postman. Don't hold your breath. I'll watch it, Mandy. I'll watch it. I know you've mentioned it on the stream a few times, and so far it hasn't happened, but it will. Trust me. Trust me, it will. It's all about timing. Yep, you're alright. Hang on. My wonderful daughter rang me up earlier, and all I got out of the conversation was, yeah, hang on. And that was it. And I rang her back. She went, yeah, wait. And then that was the end of that conversation. Sorry, I was going to say you needed to pick me up, but you don't, it's fine. I kept ending the call because we had customers and I needed to be there. Sorry about this. It's not really exciting, but I'm texting my daughter. Yeah, wonderful conversation there. Yeah, hang on. Beep. Children, children, children. Are you sure you don't need a lift? No. No, you don't need a lift, or no, you're not sure. Crazy. Still, Christian particle brick brick bush path switch queen overnight. It does sound like a headline, that doesn't it? Like World Wide Web will waste Welsh well water, warns William Woolard, and things like that. Don't mind you, crack on. I am. Right. Great news, everyone. She doesn't need a lift. Sound la. There we go. Sound lad has been texted. Done. It's family, you know what I mean? It's family. Don't think I'm going to leave it too late tonight, so.
But Kipper's Vindaloo. It can't be good for you.
Let's go to Kipper's Corner.
Kippers kicks ass.
Here we go. Increased risk of penile fractures over Christmas, doctors warn. The study also found penile fractures increased during weekends and over summer, but not on New Year's Eve. Would that be because too much alcohol is taken? At which point it's like trying to play snooker with a rope. Hospital admissions were unaffected by COVID-19 and lockdowns, researchers added. Can't wait to find out what Kippers has to say about that. I've heard of a Christmas cracker, but that is taking the piss.
Kippers kicks ass.
That does sound exceptionally painful. It's never happened, thankfully. The article, it says it sounds like a crack followed by intense pain. Nah, you're all right, mate. Yeah, as long as Bob continues to go on with I Lie to You and messes with David Mitchell's mind, he does. He's got him on strings, hasn't he? That thing about if it was anyone else, I'd say false, but it's Bob, so it could have happened. And it could. He's lived a bit of a life without Bob. Can you see? Oh no, you can't, can you? Isn't that perfect? I have a pole, a stand there. I haven't got a Polish fella standing there. What I've got is there's a pole with a light on it. I'm trying to do that so I don't fall over and break my neck for a change. I want to see how long it lasts as well. Because if that works, I might buy another one so I don't have to have these stupid things behind me. But I need me rim light being on me, you know, being the star. Fucking star. Fishing with Paul, which is weirdly watchable. It is. It's lovely because it's genuinely two people who are mates, two funny people who are mates. Just acting like knobheads, which is what fellas do when they get together. And they are really funny together. Plus Bob is just genuinely, naturally one of the funniest people on the planet. Yeah, that's the 29th. I think the Christmas special is on BBC Two. The new one, where they're up in Scotland. It's a pre-Hogmanay one. And of course, Scotland is an absolutely stunning place. There's talking of stunning places, there's a fella on YouTube called Henry Turner, who's a photographer from up north, lives somewhere near the Lake District, and he's been doing an advent sort of video every single day, and he's been going all around the UK, Absolutely stunning. Some of the Lake District, Scotland, and I was in Cornwall. The UK is beautiful, man. It's absolutely gorgeous. And seeing some of the pictures that he's taken, I think that's just down the road. I could go and see that myself. Why don't I? Definitely very weirdly watchable. Like seeing Bob and Paul doing the death faces. You don't get that anywhere else. Two middle-aged men on a bank, a riverbank or a lake, pretending to be dead. Why is that funny? And yet it is. Alan Carr is Jimmy Carr's sister. Yep. It always surprises me that 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown can have Alan Carr, Jimmy Carr and Susie Dent, and nothing is made of it. 2 cars, 1 dent. She just needs another dent, and you've got a show on its own there. Car repairs. Does Denmark celebrate Christmas today or tomorrow? You had it today, did you? Poland has something similar as well, doesn't it? Which is why this isn't a Christmas special. Or alternatively, because this thumbnail was put up and the name of this stream was put up about 2 weeks ago, and I didn't want to waste it. Otherwise, I might have done a Christmassy one. Don't know whether to do a New Year's Eve one. Don't know if that's going to be of any use to anybody. Would anyone even turn up? Is everyone busy? Everyone going to parties? Would I be sat here talking to myself like I normally do? Or do I try to have a normal-ish New Year's Eve, which for me used to be drinking loads of wine and playing Call of Duty? I don't need to have the wine, I can have Call of Duty. And then do I make a video for New Year's Eve explaining how great it's been to get through a full year without drinking, or do I do it live? Do I live stream my sobriety? Nadolig Llywyn, yep. What's the IT got to do with it? How's your Welsh going, man? Are you doing alright on it? On your Duolingo? My Dutch has been going a bit weird. The turtles have arrived back to Schildpadden, and people are turning into apples. Casper, your mum has that Nirvana album on vinyl. That's what we like to see. Fantastic stuff. I haven't. Isn't that weird? I was saying to my daughter, we need to go back into Liverpool at some point in the very, very, very near future, because I want to buy her some more vinyl. And also, I've got loads, and I haven't got a vinyl album that's older than about 1994, 95. Everything's pre-94, 95, when I started buying CDs and then streaming. But I need more vinyl. I really do. I haven't got any Beatles on vinyl. How bad is that? They're not past 1995, I need to get some more of them. Hadewig, goedenavond. Hoe gaat het? Ben je goed? Just been mentioning Dutch, and you turn up, funnily enough. The Schildpadden have made a return. People have turned into apples. There's been dogs between cats. Ik zie een hond tussen 2 katten. Yep. Pronounced icky, sort of means to you. Alright. Nadolig Llywyn icky. Happy Christmas to you, isn't it? Oh, and speaking of Welsh, when my dad used to play for Wrexham, they used to get to the Welsh Cup final almost every year, because they were probably the best Welsh team in the league at that point. And whenever they did, they play the Welsh national anthem, Land of My Fathers, and they'd also play, my dad said there was a song that he played, and it used to get them all, so I was there, my heart was coming out my chest I wanted to go and fight with all kinds. And it was saucepan fire. And it was a little saucepan bubbling on the fire or something. When he found out what the lyrics were, he was really disappointed, but he said the song was amazing. And then the Two Ronnies was on last week, and it was a choir, supposed to be a Welsh pit choir, and they were singing Saucepan Fire. I was, what, man, crazy. I've not heard it in years, and all of a sudden there it was on the Two Ronnies. You were on a 2.5 hour hike with Arvin in the drizzling rain. Brilliant, that's what we like to see. And you found a bag of parsnips, which fits in with Welsh Duolingo, of course. Prettig kerstfeest. Yep. Pawb. I've got relatives who live in North Wales. They're from Liverpool originally, but they lived in Llandudno for decades and decades. I think they can speak Welsh now. They're always putting stuff like that on Facebook. Not that I don't really go on Facebook because it annoys the bleeding life out of me. But I had to go on the other day to share my sister's thing that she put on. A fundraiser. Christmas in the UK is tomorrow. Christmas Day is the 25th. It is indeed. And I can't wait. Honest. I fucking hate Christmas dinners. I hate roast dinners. I hate Sunday dinners. I hate all of it. The only good thing about it is sitting on the sofa with twatty pyjamas watching awful TV. What more can you ask for? I'm normally eating too many chocolates so you feel like throwing up. And I forgot to get myself an alternative Christmas dinner, which I do normally try and do, like a lasagna or a pizza or something I actually like rather than the shit that was normally gets given. I hate roast dinners, I really do. Never liked them. I don't know why. Brits go mad over them. It's fucking dull, man. Throw as much bland shit in the oven as you can. Not my thing. I also don't like gravy. Unless it's on chips. Especially onion gravy. But I had that from a chippy years ago and I felt sick afterwards. And I've not really been able to look one in the face, to be honest. Yeah, saucepan fire, very on a tar. Little saucepan boiling on the fire. He said the whole stadium was singing it and about to go out and start committing murder on the opposition footballers because he was that wound up. And then it was a little saucepan boiling on the fire. But when you hear an entire, like the Cardiff Arms Stadium as it was, Cardiff Arms Park, when you hear an entire full place of 2 Welsh teams, everyone getting into it and singing, it's just amazing. I think also the Welsh national anthem, there is nothing better on earth. Scottish is second, not far behind. O Flower of Scotland. When he sing that at Hampden Park before football games, it's amazing. But Land of Our Fathers, when you do the anthems before football matches, they'll start it off by playing it over the tannoy, and then as soon as you get the first little bit and everyone starts singing it, they switch it off and just let the crowd sing it. The sound is amazing. If you can't get motivated and wound up by that, football's not the game for you. It's absolutely amazing. I think a few people have reacted to it as well, haven't they? On Yow Chow. Absolutely incredible. Johnny Bach. Best anthem, best flag. Can't complain about that one. About the anthem, at least. The flag, yeah, must admit, is also a pretty good flag. Although I used to like the Union Jack. It was a brilliant looking flag until it was co-opted by the lunatics, the lunatic right wingers. Same as the flag of St George as well. I like the Argentinian flag, and also the Dutch one I've always loved anyway, just because it reminds me of being back over there. Yeah, there are some good flags. That's definitely right up there, the Welsh one. A bugger to draw, definitely. But it's nice when you have a drive around North Wales, so you go to Llandudno or somewhere, Just see the little flags. Don't go mad like the Americans do, putting them on everywhere. But when you just go to little shops and you see little tiny flags everywhere, I like that. I had an advent calendar filmed in one day, but every episode the host drank one beer, so by the end of it was carnage. 24 episodes, yep. It will be. That sounds like the golf, pub golf that we play over here, where you pick 18 different pubs and you have to go to each one and have a pint or a half in each one, or a short. There's a good one with Merseyrail, because we've got loads of stations on the Northern Line. Can't remember how many pubs there are, but most stations have got a pub right nearby. So doing them, that's a hell of a day out. If you manage to make all of them, fair play. The Dutch anthem has 15 stanzas, nobody knows them. Hardly know the first one or two. I think that's probably the same with most national anthems, isn't it? I know the God Save the King, as it is now, goes a bit weird. I think the fourth verse goes on about heading to Scotland, rebellious Scots to crush and things like that, which nobody knows. We just know the first couple singing very, very loudly. Our anthem's shit. Utter shit. I always thought we should have updated it slightly when the Queen was still alive. Send her victorious, Oscar Pistorius. Would have fit perfect. The Greek has 156 verses. It does sound like a book, doesn't it? That's ridiculous. That's worse than American Pie, that. Well, I suppose they are home of the epic, aren't they? Yeah, Billy Connolly was right. The Archer's theme tune should be the one. Definitely. You'd be much happier if that was going while the flag was going up the pole, wouldn't you? What happens to the British anthem if the Scottish take off their own? I think the English anthem will then be God Save the King. It used to be, what did we sing on our own? It wasn't Jerusalem, was it? I know that's what the cricket team sort of sing, what the cricket fans sing is Jerusalem. But I think we'll just carry on with God Save the King. And they will leave the Scottish. I think the Irish will do before the Scottish, though. They've had enough. Yeah, don't get your baubles in a twist, Jeff. Mandy has none. Be thankful. They will get twisted if you are a handball goalkeeper, as we've mentioned before, haven't we? Like had a week's dad. Got to be crazy to be a handball goalkeeper. Running out and starfishing yourself while someone throws a ball. That's like a rock directly at your downstairs mix-up. Jeff, what does that mean? Don't get your baubles in a twist. Is that like a Christmassy version of chill, relax, it's Christmas, don't worry, be zen? He's still bragging about that time, is he? Yeah, that week. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Say they are absolute lunatics. Goalkeepers in football are renowned for being a bit crazy. It must be a similar kind of thing, but the handball just looks too painful. The balls are only small and quite tough as well, aren't they? I mean, the handball balls. Yeah, we don't want that. Rather him than me. I'll be the centre forward in the football team. I'll put the ball in the back of the net. I'll get all the plaudits. Let everyone else get up to the hard work. Because that's how we roll. What time we're on? Saf, greetings and salutations back at you, mate. How are you doing? You alright? How do we? You were only allowed to play korfball. I think we played a little bit of that as well. It was mixed. Only when we were young. I remember playing that. I remember Arpenkoi as well. Monkey cage. Staying off the ground and wouldn't be allowed now because there'd be kids falling over and hurting themselves, and there'd be lawsuits all over the place. But I love playing that. We also used to play slang in the schoolyard, which is why I fell over and snapped me tooth in half when I was 11. I've ended up with problem teeth ever since, unfortunately. So I think I might have to go to Turkey and get mine sorted out when the wedge starts coming in. Casper, you were put in goal at handball practice at the age of 4. You were wearing glasses. Thanks, Dad. Yep. Loon. Don't be needing that. Harp and coin. Yeah, I loved doing that. I loved it. I tried to get them doing it in Liverpool when we moved back, but none of it. Drew today in a third in the league. Couldn't be happier. Good stuff. That's what we like to see. Fiduciary herbicides. H Park Run Swindon Station. Are the kittens happy in the new home? Yet we need to know these things. How's it all going? All settled? Still feeling the after effects of being in the sun? Yeah. Can't really say the same ourselves here, seeing as though it was dark at about 3:30 today. I wanted to go for a walk, but it was pissing down with rain, and the rain was going sideways because the wind looked absolutely horrible. So instead I went and got diesel for the car and came home and had a shower. Rocking it. It's always weird that I know the southern hemisphere rather, is in the summer, but it still just sounds weird. When people are out having barbecues at 10 o'clock at night and you look out and it's pissing down with rain and dark at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, horrible. Yeah, don't rub it in. Cold, wet and windy. The weather, not Mandy. Yep. That's a good save, that one. The new mum called you and said they were exploring until 3 a.m. and Stoney's taking over the house. Brilliant stuff. That's what they should do. Go and find out, have a good explore, find out where you are. We should all do that. Never mind animals, we should do that. And while we're here, some tales from the crypt with Jeff. Let's have a look at what he's been up to. I'm a bricklayer, twisted bricklayer. I think you need a little bit of cement in there, lad. They look rough. I enjoyed my time pitching for the LA Dodgies. Battered up. He looks evil. Wouldn't want to face that. Oh, Jeffy Christmas. Jaeger bombs all around. I think that's probably the best you're going to get out of him, aren't you? Hoo-yah! That's about as good as he's going to be to people. Which means he's going to have to balance it up by being evil to me later on, as he always is. So expect some kind of technical issue to go knackered. Something will do, won't it? I need a shave. I need a Chaz and Dave. I also need to do my head as well. Starting to look hippie-ish. Keith Flint did steal his look off Jeff. Keith Flint being born in the, is it the 70s? And Jeff being born in about 302 or whatever it was he was born before Christ. It's definitely got that look about him. I think Keith used to try and channel the energy of a Jeff. In fact, he should have changed the name to the Proto Jeff. Jeff, man. I am surprised. TikTok people thought he was really good. We're getting involved. He was only, yeah, What? Hang on, what's that? What's that behind her heart? I can't see a bloody thing. He was only 800 a minute ago. It changes. It changes. He's Jeff. Jeff is Jeff. He bends time to his will. 1200, 300, it doesn't matter. He was here, he was there, he was everywhere. Don't even know if he's got a mum or dad, Jeff, or whether he was just there one day. A chemical reaction and Jeff appeared. Jeff invented time. Yep. Many people would say that time invented Jeff, and they would be completely wrong. It was him. He invented it. He started it. And he will eventually finish it. One of these days I'll press a button on there and time will stop working because Jeff is Jeff. Jeff is all ages, all the time. He is. I think Jeff is a parallel universe to himself. That's why he appears within Botrix, he appears within the streams. He's getting mentioned on TikTok. He's there, he's here, he's there, he's everywhere. Barely got that out then, jeez. How can I be struggling when I've actually slept? Can't be right. Yeah, Jeff, if Sean Locke was a smurf, Jeff is a menace. Do you know what? I think I'd settle for that. Jeff, if Sean Locke was a smurf, I think he'd like that. I think he'd see that as a compliment. If Jeff invented time, did he also invent space? He did. And he likes to bend space and time, which is why he can be 800 and 1700 years of age at the same time and appear everywhere. Anywhere where things need to be meddled in. Does it mean he supports Everton and Liverpool? No. He's evil, but he's not evil enough to support Liverpool, obviously. Which is why he's completely blue. Dabba-dee, dabba-die. And he might be evil, but no one's evil enough to support Liverpool apart from me mum. She is the one malign spirit in an otherwise calm blue house. My calm blue house. It's never calm when Everton's involved, as yesterday's game would show. Mind you, that's not our fault. That's the knobhead referee and the VAR. But there you go. Bend it like Einstein. Yep, exactly. Funny enough, Einstein's got a couple of mentions today. With E equals MC Hammer. Have I still got that on my phone? I have a nice somewhere. It's there somewhere. Well, I'll have to do Horace as well because I'm starting to feel a bit tired, so here we go. Horace's haikus. Want to make sure this is done before. On this Christmas Eve, I would just like to tell you the telly is shite. He's 100% right as well. Absolutely 100% right. No, Mandy Everton are not joining the new Super League. That is saved for the Scum Six. The so-called Big Six. Which is funny because Everton are not involved. Despite the fact that we're a much bigger club than Man City. Aston Villa are bigger than City and Spurs as well, but you know, it's whoever's got the money at the moment. A schoolmate lost a testy, and after that he was never called anything but Einstein. Kids are so mean. Yes, they are. I've got a couple of mates who've lost them as well. Kenny One Blanc, which is same kind of thing. I think one of them got called Eileen as well. The idea that he was heavier on one side than the other. How do we? Yeah, I'm recovering a little bit. It's still not 100% right. I've still got a little bit of stuffiness. I'm not sneezing as much. I'm not coughing as much, but it's still hanging round. But I am getting there. Yep, Horace, absolutely 100% right. Saf, no worries, mate. Get to your bed. I can understand you're absolutely exhausted. Your Christmas presents will be waiting for you. Don't worry about that. Nice to see you. Go and get yourself sorted, mate. Be safe and be good. We will try. Not always possible. Not when Jeff's around, anyway. Good night, Safwat. That's Nicholas Lyndhurst, isn't it? Sitcom. Oh, Good Night, Sweetheart. That was on earlier on, funnily enough. I can't remember watching that when it was out, but it was nowhere near as good as... Even though I can't recall it, I recalled it being better than it was when I watched it earlier. If that makes any sense. You know what I mean? As in, I can't remember much about it, but I remembered it being fairly funny. And then watching it earlier, it wasn't. Again, I'm not explaining myself very well there, so I'll stop. Yep. Safe, yes. Good. Not too sure. Good as no is right, is it? We don't think. Still getting messages, man. This is mad. Why? Why you do this to me? I'd love to know if anyone ever stumbled across this on Twitch. People who have no idea what it is. And then suddenly started seeing Jeff and Horace and Kibbers turning up. I think, what the bleeding hell's going on here? Yeah, Nicholas Lyndhurst is brilliant. It's fantastic as Rodders. Also really good in Butterflies, where he played a very posh a posh teenage young adult. And he was in, wasn't Porridge, was it? It was Going Straight, I think he appeared in, as Ronnie Barker's son, Fletcher's son. So he's been in loads of stuff, and now he's in Frasier, and he's stealing every scene in there. Yes, it's Joe Lingo messaging me as well. It is. It's telling me to practice now to keep up my 214-day streak. No, don't think so, mate. Not yet. A bit later. I should try and do it of a morning or after midnight to make sure that it's done, rather than leaving it to the last minute, which I normally do. It's weird. Like I said this before, I'm annoyed because I should be able to just look at it and think, I know absolutely everything in this. And sometimes I have to think about what I'm writing on Duolingo, and it annoys me. But I am getting better. My Dutch is getting slightly better. Nowhere near what it used to be, but it is getting better. And that's the whole point of it, isn't it? It's just improve, keep improving. He was only 19 when he got the part as Rodney. That's stupidly young, but it worked well. And considering them two don't look anything like each other, it was still believable. And then, of course, it got written into the whole plot of the overall series arc, that they were, different dads and what have you. But it still worked perfectly, and that's been on loads recently as well. So if you watch, is it Dave or Gold, I think. It'll be the two Ronnies, Morecambe and Wise, then Only Fools and Horses. So it's keeping me rightly entertained of a morning, especially. Followed by air crash investigation for a little bit of light relief, obviously. Butterflies before Only Fools. I think it was just. It was mid 70s, wasn't it? Whereas Only Fools was very late 70s, early 80s. Yeah, I think that was just about before. I think we'll have to check this though, won't we? Don't want to be lying on a YouTube live stream, because that simply wouldn't do, would it? No one lies on these things. (1978 to 1983), right? Whereas Only Fools 1981 onwards. Yeah, so it would have been just before that. Yeah, he was in that Butterflies. He played the sort of poshish son. Another Carla Lane programme. That's actually that show was on one of those mad channels that I watch, and I can't remember which one it was now. Together TV, it was something, but that was on, and it was still relatively funny as well, and strangely modern, even though it was really dated as a 70s, 80s TV show. By the dress, everything's brown and beige, the cars, some of the language, again, a little bit 70s, but having a female-led character and seeing things from her point of view was completely novel at the time, and it still seems fairly new, even after all these years. And genuinely funny as well, quite poignant. Before Carla Lane turned into an absolute knob, obviously, with bread. An horrible bastard. Yeah, really sad that he lost his son at such an early age as well. It's horrible when it happens that. You see young kids. He was a good actor as well, his son, wasn't he? Apparently. I can't remember seeing him in anything, but I remember reading lots of people saying you could tell he was his father's son. He had the same kind of acting chops as him. But I know on Frasier, Kelsey Grammer was saying, why wouldn't you have him? Everything he appears and he just steals every scene because he's absolutely brilliant. And I don't think American audiences knew who he was really, but now they certainly do. It's crazy. I mean, I know they're good actors, all these people, and he can play loads of different parts, but when you see him, the different type of people he's been, and he's nailed every single one of them. I suppose David Jason's the same. You can look at him and see Del Boy, but you can also look at him and see Granville from Open All Hours, or Inspector Jack Frost. He has all those characters, and he's Blanco in Porridge. He really does inhabit those characters really well. The sign of a fantastic actor, that one. When he can be in a huge show, and then you still don't just pigeonhole them as that one person. Ronnie Barker doing the same thing with. He was filming Porridge and Open All Hours at the same time. The two series were overrunning with each other, and in one of them, I don't know how old is Fletch supposed to be, in his 40s maybe, and Arkwright in his late 50s, 60s. Totally believable, both of them completely believable, but it's just amazing that you can watch them at the same time and say, I still believe he's that one and that one, even though they look so different. Sign of a fantastic actor. Yeah, absolutely superb actors. And Only Fools retrospective on now, on silent, but it keeps distracting you, Mandy. Yeah, no problem, I can understand that. And of course, being one of those shows that we all know so well, lots of us know so well, that even without the words, with no noise on there, the sound completely down, you know what's happening. You can hear it in your head. It's mad. It's mad how much of it's part of the culture. And it really is. Massively part of our culture. Our culture. Sounded overly scouse there, didn't I? That occasionally happens. I do apologise. Instead of sounding all highfalutin. It's all part of the culture, that, like, you know what I mean? Or you put the subtitles on. Oh, well, fair enough. That's cheating. You're not getting any credit for that one, Mandy, I'm afraid. You're cheating with subtitles. I'm surprised there's anything decent on, to be honest with you. Christmas Eve's normally utter bollocks, isn't it? As Horace, our good friend, said earlier on. Let's have a look. Is there actually anything decent on tonight? Oh, 10:30. Is that you watching it on Channel 5, are you? The Only Fools and Horses Secrets and thingy I was on at 10:30 on Channel 5. I've seen that before, that's good. Oh, Yes Minister. Oh, it's about to finish on BBC 4. I love Yes Minister. I always thought it was ridiculously overhyped, and then I started working for the government, and it's completely true to life. Does my t-shirt have a writing under the skull? A little tiny bit of something, I can't work out what it is. Oh yeah, Diesel Co. That's it. Nothing more. Smile in life. Solidarity, brother. And I'm only wearing this because it's thin. I didn't want to put on a thick, heavy t-shirt because in that room, in the front room, it can be mind-meltingly hot and then freezing cold. And if I've got this on, at least then I can throw on a hoodie or my blanket. I have to be careful there, I'm wearing shorts as well. Navy shorts, didn't want to stand up too much. You're not getting a lap dance, I'm not doing that. Is that? I know the blue's hitting me, but no. I think I need to work on that, the position of that light. Not working as well as the other one. Right, you just wonder what the advice was for after. Smile in life. Maybe it should be smile in life, love your wife. I don't know. Smile in life, butter knife. Right, so Sky documentaries later, Who Killed the KLF? That's worth watching. Sky Arts has got loads of Elvis Presley stuff on, which I would rather sandpaper my marble purse than watch that shite. Cannot stand Elvis. More 4's got loads of Father Ted on it. Worth watching, definitely. But basically, oh bloody hell, telly's awful. Yesterday, the TV channel, that might have been where I watched Butterflies. That's good. Still not watching all that shit though. And it is Sunday, isn't it? I know it's Christmas Eve, but it's Sunday. So there wouldn't even be any MASH on anyway. Together TV, yeah, that's a good channel if you've got Sky. Or is it on Freeview? And That's TV. They always put loads of mad 70s sitcoms on there. Sorry, with Ronnie Corbett was on there. I like that. Aussie snake wranglers on Earth TV. You know, do people just come up with ideas in the pub, come up with a name, and then we'll make a TV show around it, like Alan Partridge, you know, Monkey Tennis, Youth Hostling with Chris Eubank, that kind of thing. No, the rest of it's absolute bollocks. Plus, I've no use to people that don't live in the UK anyway, so this is just a waste of time, isn't it? And no good films on Talking Pictures. It's a shame. That's a good channel. I watch that all the time. Loads of sort of 1930s, 40s and 50s black and white films, which are brilliantly shit. You can't beat a brilliantly shit TV or film. Something to relax to. Oh, someone's been pressing hearts. The heart thing went mad. You can't tell Chris Eubank and Greg Davies apart. You can't. It's just, they sound identical. Absolutely identical. Seeing him try to do that impression is ridiculous, Greg Davies. He's another one, really funny. Someone that you wouldn't mind going for a pint with. And the fact that he's also one of Rod Gilbert's best mates, I can imagine them two in the pub just constantly laughing. He's still only on series 2 of Doctor Who. How many left? How many series is there in total? 50 or something. That'll keep you going. I wonder if you get to the end of them and you just start again. How many series is there in total? Come on, let's have a look. British television series. I know it's been on for donkey's years. Come on, where are you? Stop. 26 series of it. Or seasons, I'd like to say. 26. Jesus. That's just... That's cray-cray. In a good way. Enough to keep you going. He keeps Rod from going complete psycho. I really can imagine them two on a night out being hilarious. Like normal lads. That's one thing I do miss actually, is going for a beer with the lads, just sitting in the pub chatting shit. Don't get to do that anymore. And not everyone's going to be around forever. One of the lads is already retired, so I need to at least at some point go for a pint, whether it's drinking soft drinks or coffee or something while I get drunk. I'm going to have to do that at some point. There are 15 doctors and you're still on William Hartnell. You've got a long, long way to go. Until you get to Tom Baker, of course, the greatest of all time. The doctor, the goat doctor. With his massive scarf. Isn't it a mad thing now? We're thinking of an outfit for you, something that'll stick out. We can't think what to do. Just give me a massive scarf. It'll take off. Yeah, of course it will. Well, it did as well. I need to find a series, I think. Dave stopped showing Red Dwarf on a Sunday night, which I'm gutted about. Absolutely gutted. The only time I really get to watch it now is on, there's a reaction channel called Gallifrey Gals. Watching them watch it, and I think they only accidentally started watching it thinking it was a sci-fi show, and now they're absolutely obsessed with it. So I like watching that, but I need to do something. I need to find another series. And there's not much I want to watch, to be honest. Apart from obviously Alan Carr. Rod did a thing on shyness. Greg was on that too, about shy. I think I've seen that. But that must have been a BBC thing, mustn't it? I can remember seeing Rod Gilbert on a BBC documentary. I'm sure that's what he mentioned. But you find that with a lot of people who are supposed to be extroverts, they're not. I was always really shy and nervous. And then because we had to move school all the time, the only way to counter that was by pretending to be outgoing. And then years later, it's suddenly that becomes your personality. But there's still times where deep within you, you're not necessarily shy anymore, but still concerned about how you come across. So you spend years. I spent years working behind the bar as though I was on stage being a comedian, and that made me grow. Yeah, class clown, exactly, that kind of thing. I did that as well. That's why I never got into fights at school. I was always the one doing the stupid accents and impressions of people and telling jokes constantly. They're the ones that you don't normally end up punching because you look stupid if you do. But everyone likes him. Why are you punching him for? That kind of thing. And if you can pretend to be someone else, then it's not you. You don't have to be nervous. You don't have to be shy. Be your character. If your character is like a stand-up comedian or someone who does impressions of people, that'll be him. He'll deal with all the worries that you've got. So I can see that. I can see why them two, they come across as larger than life, but you can see possibly that's where that's come from, that's stemmed from. You've got to do something to put your defences up. It's worked for them. Worked for me as well. Got me through school. Got me through work. Got me to the point now where I don't really care. Same thing about when I'm in work and I have to stand up in front of 300 or 400 people. Don't get remotely nervous anymore. Done it too often. I know what I'm talking about. You're here to listen to me. Here we go. Let's get it sorted. It can be tough at times though. Getting in that mindset. So I just keep making sure that light's still on. It needs to be altered slightly. I have to bully my daughter and tell her to come round and sit there sort of work out exactly where the lights need to point. I can make her a production assistant. Put it in the end credits. Because at the moment the end credits are everything, Nick. I'm not like one of those big YouTubers. A team full of editors and people pushing buttons for them. No. It's all me, this. Well, me. 2 psychopaths, bears, and an entity that doesn't know exactly how old he is. Everything. Apart from Horace's haikus, obviously, and Kipper's writing his little bits, and Jeff showing us some of his previous lives. Now, I do everything, Jeff fucks everything up. It's like I build the Jenga, Jeff comes and smashes it to bits. If Jeff did everything, this stream would look completely different. And I don't think it'd be allowed on here for too long afterwards. Because he's truly evil, man. He's truly evil. I have to do the Jeff merch though and throw it on TikTok. Open a TikTok shop. Seems like you can get away with a bit more on TikTok, can't you? Of the evil side of things. YouTube don't like that kind of stuff. Not after the adpocalypse anyway. Weird some of the YouTube shit. Used to be super shy as well, Casper. Yeah. Understand you, mate. I was there. Just got to get through it, haven't you? Yeah, lots of these YouTube gurus tell you what you need to do to get monetized and what you need to do to make it a living and what have you. You've been doing this for years. back before you needed 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours, back when all you needed to do was just get on YouTube and put a few videos out there, then you could start getting monetized. If they had to do it now, I think they'd struggle just as much as everyone else, and yet they're the ones who are supposed to have all the answers. Nah, man. It's just being shown now by the fact that not everyone's trying to follow Mr. Beast, they're trying to be themselves. And I am all for it. It's all about personality. People with personalities and interesting stories rather than whiz bangs and shiny graphics and stuff. Did the whole class clown thing as well. Yep. It seems to be a natural kind of thing if you're a little bit shy. Create a character. Be an exaggerated version of yourself. Then you don't need to worry. We've all been there. Always used to take me a while to get used to things, and then once you're in the same class for 2 or 3 years, you do calm down. You know everyone. You don't need to worry about what people say. You're mates with your mates. You know the others. It's only when you're 14, 15 you start getting interested in girls that you start getting nervous about them as well at that point. But beyond that, you settle down into it. I always found the class clown thing easy. It was a nice little a way of getting away with things. Teachers always spoke very highly of me. You can be a bit of a disruption in class, but it's never bad, it's never too long, and it's never too nasty or anything. So they probably got away with some of the behaviour that I had as a child, or as a youth anyway, by being fairly alright. Take the piss without being nasty. It's the way it should be. But you got to do what you got to do to get through school. I think it's one of those. It's a bizarre time, isn't it? In school, having to get through it. You're at your most vulnerable at that age, where you're going from a kid becoming an adolescent. Adulthood is just round the corner. You're at your most vulnerable, and then you have to be at your sharpest to try and pass exams, try and learn things. Seems like we're doing it wrong. Just let kids be kids to begin with until they gain the social skills, then start teaching them things when they're ready for it. But we don't do it that way. Yeah, very familiar. That's exactly what it is, Casper. Exactly what it is, mate. Everyone's been through that. I was lucky as well, actually. Lucky I had some really good mates, and lucky I got into music when I did. So there's quite a few of the teachers who are heavily into music as well. I ended up having a chat with them about music. So you could connect with them on a different level. It wasn't always just work and stuff. It was just a little bit of music, football, what have you. But I had a sociology teacher who was heavily into prog rock, so we used to have chats with him all the time. That made school a bit more interesting and a bit easier as well. You haven't levelled up yet? No, and you've chatted loads. You have, Mandy. But I think at the level that you're at now, it takes longer and longer to level up. It's easy at the start, and then longer and longer as you go higher and higher. You will level up though, just keep chatting. It's all about the chat though, bruv, know what I mean? But that's what we like to see anyway, loads of chat. That's part of the fun for me as well, not just sitting there chatting away myself, talking shite. It's seeing people talking in the chat. We have got a fantastic community. I'm very, very happy and proud to be part of it. As always. But we do like points, don't we? Let's face it. Everyone likes points and levelling up. I don't know if there's anything I can do where I make something on the screen explode like fireworks when people level up. There should be something, shouldn't there? There should be a widget whenever you level up on Botrix. There's like a firework display or something crazy. But there isn't. I might suggest that to them. get it sorted. But I'm now starting to falter a little bit, I think. I'm starting to feel a bit tired, so start wrapping up. Sociology teachers, you always wanted to call her by her first name and think of her as a friend, not a teacher. Yeah. Ours was sound, I must admit. He was boss. Some of the teachers were a bit weird, has to be said. One of which really should have been in jail, to be honest. I won't mention his name, but he was very, very dodgy. He liked the young ladies. I had an absolute bastard of a headmaster at one point as well. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. And as soon as we got into sixth form, he was brilliant with us. Still horrible to all the other kids, but anyone that got into sixth form, it was like you were time served. You knew you were under 18, and if you seen you in a pub, he'd buy you a pint. It was, that was the time back then as well. So the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. And it's like, why were you horrible with us? So you needed discipline. You needed to know who was in charge. Now it's sixth form. Give you a bit more leeway. Don't take the piss, but he was sound him actually. And I think probably what he did worked well for everyone that was there. You needed that little bit of, you can't get away with too much, that kind of discipline. And if you showed that you weren't horrible to him, a bit later on he was sound. I must admit he was a good lad. Good lad, jeez. Probably only in his 40s as well. And we thought he was dead old. Younger than I am now, he's dead old. And well. Sociology teachers, they always used to drive like Renault 4s, didn't they, and 2 CVs and what have you. You never called your teachers anything other than the first name. Your dad had the same teachers and found it odd that you'd addressed them by the first names. I think it must be a cultural thing. Over here it's Mr. or Mrs. and you give the surnames. I remember in the Netherlands it was always Mr. or Mrs. and then the first name. Like Juffrouw Effie, I remember her. But it was always the first names. Weird. If you called them by the surname, it sounds strange. Whereas if you called a teacher over here by the first name, you probably get a board duster thrown at you or a ruler or something over the hands. One headmaster tried to stop us going to the ball game. He relented when even the teacher said they'd be there, whether he approved or not. Yeah, it's pointless. They are going to be there. Chillax, man. The addressing the teachers by the last name stopped in the 70s, right? But before that, it was there. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Strange how that works. I suppose it's school strange anyway, because it's different wherever you go. You'd think it'd be the same, but it's definitely not. It's culturally different where you go. People learn different things. People behave different ways. And even just going to school in the UK, the Netherlands, and then back in the UK, that difference in those few years rather, I think that was a good thing to do, to see how the other half live and to learn differently. It's a different way of learning, which I think helped me just as a person get into that mindset of there's more than one way to take in information. We should all do it. Well, yeah, we're getting there, aren't we? Getting towards the I need to finish kind of time. Because even though I slept well and the cold is leaving me, I need another Lemsip. And I need to get myself on the sofa because I'm starting to feel a bit tired. But according to my genius daughter, I don't need to pick her up. Which means I have to be ready just in case. Because yesterday, you don't need to pick me up, Dad. Then I got a phone call. Actually, can you pick me up? I need to do something. Yep, fine, no problem. Luckily, it was just before the main boxing came on yesterday. So I managed to get that sorted and not miss anything. But, that's what it's like when you've got kids. I don't need anything. Oh, by the way, I need 600 things. I suppose we were the same as kids ourselves, so it's payback, isn't it? That's all it is, it's payback. You were like that, so here we go. Yep. Indeed. And Hadwig, yep, definitely. But I don't mind. I see loads of parents going mad because, the kid has phoned them up. I need something, I need picking up within 10 minutes. It's your kid, man. It's your kid. Go and sort them out. Spend time with them. Pick them up. They'll be picking the home that you go to, so treat them well. That's what I think anyway. And I don't mind. I like when I pick my daughter and her mates up as well, just hearing them chatting away. I think it's nice. It's nice hearing people with a bit of energy, young people with a bit of energy who are nice, rather than people of my own age who are a bit more, world weary and tired. But she's a pain in the arse if she rings later on. How do we keep it invisible in the chat for the last half hour? How? I haven't pressed anything, have I? Switch to your phone now. What's going on? Bizarre. Very strange. On your laptop we couldn't see you. I wonder why that is. I haven't got anything set up. I haven't got anyone blocked or anything. That's so strange. I'll have to look into that. Make sure there's nothing that I've done that's stopping people from chatting. I haven't even got any blocked words. Everything should be just on there, and very, very odd. Yeah, it is weird. It's Jeff. It's Jeff. That's what it is. Jeff being Jeff. Jeff doing Jeff things. I'm convinced of it. There's always something. All the button pressing has worked perfectly tonight, so obviously something had to get knackered. It's him. Yeah, very odd. Jeff. But it is weird. If you can do it on your phone, it means that there's no settings which is stopping you from messaging. So I don't know what it is that's causing it. Yeah, Jeff and the Moldovans. Fantastic band, by the way. Jeff and the Moldovans. We'll have to write some songs with them, won't we? The new up and coming band. Not Mandy never presses buttons. You are wise not to, because no good can come of it. In theory. Yeah, but so strange. We'll have a look though, because we don't want that. We want to make sure that everyone who's here is able to chat. That's the whole point in being here, really, isn't it? It's not to look at me. Jesus, it's not to look at me. It's to chat. That's what we like to do. Yeah, but I will look into that. It's so strange. Saying I'll look into it, I haven't got a clue where to start. There must be something. You might have pressed the button, but which one? That is the question. Nah, well, I don't know. There must be something I can look at. Settings, chat settings. And see if there's anything that's gone weird there. I'll have a look though. We need to have you in this chat. Can't have you on the outside looking in. You've got to be in here. You've been watching Pan's Labyrinth in the meantime. Was Jeff in that as well? Sounds the kind of thing he'd be in. Mandy's only here for Horace and points, obviously. How do we spend entertaining herself? Nah. Well, yeah, you could have been in it. You might have been in it. We never know. It could have been an extra in Pan's Labyrinth. especially with his cheekbones the way they are lately. But I will look into it because you need to be in here in the chat. Everyone does. I don't think there's any blocked words or anything, which you can do. You can block certain words or phrases, which I've not even done that. I'm relying on, YouTube's own moderation, which it does occasionally, and we have spanners in here as well. Jeff and the Moldavans singing sad country music, in that Deliverance Appalachian setting. That sounds about right. I could see that happening. Jeff with his banjo. You've got to get your phone to let the dogs out. That's why you came back. Brilliant. You don't use words that YouTube recognises as bad. It's strange occasionally. I know it's tech, and tech doesn't always work. But I've also, like I say, I haven't got any blocked words myself. You can set them up so certain things don't appear. I know Nick Nimmin, who does like a YouTube guru, he always blocks Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Republican, Democrat, words like that, because he doesn't want politics involved in his stream, and he blocks certain things. But I haven't even got anything like that set up. It's just what people say is what people say. I don't get bothered about what's in the chat, so I don't know why that is. And if it's working on your phone, it's not like you're blocked, so I don't quite understand why that's working that way. But I will look into it. In fact, I might go on Google when I finish and see if there's any settings that I need to check to make sure that they're working. It's always nice having all of you in the chat. Don't want anyone feeling left out. Not having it. You listening, Jeff? Are you listening? Stop that shite. You're a Democratic Republican, but it does mean something completely different. Yeah. So the Americans wouldn't be able to recognise that. I don't think they get their head around someone being a Democratic Republican. It's one or the other, you can't be both. No, it's different. But anyway, you're back anyway, so I will look into it. We will try and fix these things. Would the stream explode if you blocked the word Jeff? Holy shit. Don't even think about it. I could hear a rumble then from underneath the bed. I think you might have a portal underneath there. A portal to the underworld. Don't be blocking Jeff. The word, the name, the person, anything. Can't be doing that. I mean, you're alright. You're miles away. If the hole under the bed opens up and swallows us all in, you're safe. Don't be doing that. Don't be getting us involved in that. What a way to go with that, though. On his final stream, Nick exploded down to a black hole, a blue hole of evil. And all that was heard at the end was mwahahaha, followed by Kippers kicks ass. Good, not doing it. Stop wondering as well. We don't upset Jeff. Don't annoy him. He's like a hornet's nest. A hornet's nest in a horny vest, or something like that. You're not even sure how to do it. Don't even look. Don't even think about it. You'll know if you're thinking about it. Don't need them on. And it's Christmas, man. Don't need evils happening at Christmas. Oh, right, yeah. Oh, shit. See, until I'm getting tired, I'm starting to cramp up a little bit. But hey, look, wave. You've never moderated anyone yet. You will do. Your time will come, Heather. Your time will come. And it is doggy walk time, it is. Well, enjoy your walk. And in the meantime, thank you very much. I might do a New Year's Eve one. I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know. We'll see how things go. But in the meantime, thank you very much as always. And
that's all we've got time for this evening. So it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night. Good night.
And that's that.